Nala is one of the most important characters in The Lion King. She is Simba's closest friend, his fiercest challenger, and ultimately, the one who inspires him to return home and claim his throne. And yet, despite her significance, there's one question that Disney never answers. Who is Nala's father? Unlike Simba, whose lineage is explicitly tied to Mufasa, Nala's background is left completely ambiguous. Her mother, Serafina, has a brief appearance in the film, but we are never told who her father is. It's as if he never existed. No mention, no presence, no explanation. At first, this might seem like a simple oversight. After all, The Lion King isn't focused on intricate family trees. It's about Simba's journey. But the more you think about it, the stranger this omission becomes. Disney is known for its attention to detail, especially in its animated classics. Every character, no matter how small, has a purpose and a backstory. So why would they completely ignore something as fundamental as one of the main characters' parentage? Some fans have theorized that Disney left this out because Nala's father must have been another lion in Mufasa's pride, meaning she and Simba could be related. Others believe that her father may have been a rogue lion who wasn't part of the Pride Lands at all. But the fact remains, Disney has never addressed this, and perhaps they never will. But what if this wasn't a mistake? What if the absence of Nala's father was an intentional narrative choice, one that actually makes The Lion King even stronger? To truly understand this mystery, we need to look beyond just the missing character and explore why this omission may have been the best decision for the story itself. At first glance, it may seem like Disney simply forgot to give Nala a father. After all, The Lion King was created as a self-contained story, focused on Simba's journey rather than a complex royal lineage. But as we dig deeper, it becomes clear that the omission of Nala's father is not just an accident. It is a deliberate choice that benefits the story. Disney is known for carefully crafting its narratives, and The Lion King is no exception. The film is full of intentional storytelling decisions that enhance its themes, characters, and emotional impact. If Nala's father had been included in the story, it could have raised unnecessary complications that would have distracted from Simba's journey. One possible reason Disney never addressed Nala's father is to avoid uncomfortable implications about the pride structure. In real lion prides, only a few dominant males reproduce, meaning that the most logical explanation would be that Mufasa, or even Scar, was Nala's father. However, confirming this would have created an awkward family dynamic, making Simba and Nala half-siblings or cousins. By leaving Nala's father out of the story, Disney avoids these difficult questions altogether. Another reason for this choice is to keep the focus on the rivalry between Mufasa and Scar. The heart of The Lion King is the struggle between these two brothers and the impact their actions have on Simba. Introducing a new character, such as Nala's father, would have added an unnecessary subplot that could have diverted attention from this core conflict. Moreover, omitting Nala's father allows her to stand out as a unique character in the story. While Simba is weighed down by the legacy of Mufasa and the expectations of reclaiming his throne, Nala's strength and leadership come entirely from her own actions. She is not defined by her lineage. She is defined by her courage, intelligence, and determination. Interestingly, even in external Lion King media, Disney has been careful to keep this mystery unsolved. In The Lion King: 6 New Adventures, a book series set in the same universe, Nala's father is never identified. Even when the Lion Guard introduced new elements to the franchise, it still avoided giving a definitive answer about her origins. If Disney truly wanted to reveal this information, they could have done so in the many sequels, spin-offs, and expanded universe materials. The fact that they continue to leave this question unanswered suggests that it is intentional, and that The Lion King is stronger because of it. So instead of asking who Nala's father is, perhaps the better question is, why does the story work better without him? To answer that, we must look at how Nala's missing father actually enhances the film's themes and makes her character even more powerful. The absence of Nala's father is more than just a missing detail. It serves a narrative purpose that enhances the Lion King story. While some fans may see it as an oversight, a deeper look reveals that keeping Nala's lineage vague actually strengthens both her character and the overall structure of the film. Unlike Simba, whose entire identity is shaped by his lineage, Nala's story is different. Simba carries the weight of his father's legacy, struggling with self-doubt and the expectation of reclaiming his birthright. His journey is about living up to Mufasa's example and restoring balance to the Pride Lands. But Nala? She is free from this burden. Her strength and leadership are not tied to an inherited destiny or royal bloodline. They come from her own experiences and choices. If Nala had a well-defined father figure, especially one with a significant role in the Pride, it could have diminished the impact of her independent nature. One of the most important roles Nala plays in The Lion King is challenging Simba to be better. She is the one who finds him in the jungle, the one who confronts him about abandoning his responsibilities, and the one who ultimately helps push him to return home. Had Nala been the daughter of a major figure in the Pride, it might have shifted her motivation, perhaps turning her into someone concerned with her own family's status rather than the well-being of the kingdom as a whole. By leaving her father out of the story, Disney allows Nala to exist as a symbol of strength, leadership, and a voice of reason unclouded by personal ambition. Her independence contrasts sharply with Simba, whose identity is entangled with his father's shadow. This makes their dynamic even stronger. Where Simba struggles with insecurity and hesitation, Nala is clear-headed and determined. She is a leader by nature, not by bloodline. If Disney had introduced a father for Nala, it could have complicated the main story unnecessarily. Imagine a scenario where Nala's father was another lion within the Pride. This would introduce an entirely new power dynamic within Mufasa's rule, potentially requiring additional explanations about how leadership in the Pride Lands works. Even worse, if Nala's father had been another rogue lion outside of the Pride Lands, it could have led to an entire subplot about her past, distracting from the film's primary focus on Simba's journey. Instead, by keeping Nala's backstory simple, The Lion King ensures that the audience remains fully invested in Simba's arc without unnecessary diversions. In many Disney films, female characters are often defined by their relationships, daughters of kings, heirs to thrones, or princesses with predetermined destinies. But Nala breaks this mold. She is neither a princess in distress nor a figure struggling to uphold a royal legacy. She is a lioness who earns her place through her actions, wisdom, and leadership. By removing a father figure from her story, Disney makes it clear that Nala's importance is not tied to her lineage, but to her own merits. She is not a passive character waiting for a hero. She actively challenges, inspires, and drives Simba to become the king he is meant to be. When looking at the story from this perspective, it becomes clear that the absence of Nala's father is not a mistake. It's a narrative tool. It reinforces her independence, avoids unnecessary complications, and allows her to be a truly unique female lead in Disney's history. And perhaps that is why Disney has never felt the need to answer this question. Because doing so wouldn't make The Lion King better, it would actually take away part of what makes Nala such a powerful character. But what if this mystery does more than just benefit Nala's character? Could it actually be one of the secrets that makes The Lion King even more timeless? To fully understand that, we need to explore why keeping this question unanswered may have been one of Disney's smartest decisions. Throughout cinematic history, some of the most compelling stories are the ones that leave certain questions unanswered. Sometimes, the absence of information is what makes a film more intriguing, allowing audiences to speculate, discuss, and engage with the story long after they've watched it. The mystery of Nala's father is one of these narrative choices, and rather than weakening The Lion King, it actually makes the film stronger, deeper, and more engaging. 1. Avoiding a major story problem. One of the biggest advantages of leaving Nala's father unknown is that it avoids an awkward and distracting subplot. If Disney had explicitly stated that Mufasa was Nala's father, it would have created an uncomfortable dynamic between her and Simba, reinforcing a close familial connection that could make their romantic relationship feel unsettling to audiences. On the other hand, if Scar had been her father, it would have changed the entire dynamic of the story, making Nala an heir to the throne in a completely different way. By leaving the answer open-ended, Disney neatly sidesteps this issue. The audience never questions Simba and Nala's relationship because the film never forces them to think about it. 2. Keeping the focus on Simba's journey. At its core, The Lion King is about Simba's rise to reclaim his throne. His journey is defined by his relationship with Mufasa, the guilt over his father's death, and his eventual realization that he must embrace his destiny. If the film had included a subplot about Nala's father, it could have diverted attention away from the primary story, introducing unnecessary complexity in a narrative that thrives on simplicity. By leaving Nala's father out of the equation, Disney ensures that the film remains laser-focused on Simba's growth, allowing Nala to support his arc without pulling the story in an unnecessary direction. 3. The power of mystery and fan engagement. Few things keep a story alive better than a well-placed mystery. The fact that Disney has never answered the question of Nala's father has led to decades of speculation, theories, and debates among fans. Some believe Nala's father was simply another unnamed lion within the Pride. Others suggest he was a rogue who wandered into the Pride Lands before disappearing. The ambiguity allows each fan to create their own version of the story, keeping The Lion King alive in fan discussions even decades after its release. In storytelling, engagement is everything. If a story can keep people thinking, theorizing, and debating long after they've watched it, then it has succeeded in creating a world that feels real and immersive. The mystery of Nala's father does exactly that. 4. A story that feels mythological. The Lion King is more than just a story about lions. It is a timeless tale inspired by mythology and Shakespearean drama. Much like in Hamlet, where certain backstories remain vague in order to maintain the focus on the protagonist's journey, The Lion King benefits from keeping some aspects of its world ambiguous. In classic myths and legends, not every character has a defined lineage. Many warriors, kings, and heroes simply appear within a story, representing ideas bigger than their individual backgrounds. Nala fits this archetype. She is a force of wisdom, strength, and leadership, rather than just another character tied to a family tree. By not giving her a father, The Lion King elevates her from being just another princess in a royal lineage. She becomes a symbol of leadership and independence, a character who earns her place through actions, not inheritance. 5. Would answering this mystery make The Lion King better? Some mysteries are better left unsolved. If Disney were to suddenly reveal the identity of Nala's father, what would truly be gained? Would it make The Lion King more compelling? Probably not. In fact, it could potentially diminish some of the magic by over-explaining something that was never meant to be central to the story. Leaving the question unanswered makes The Lion King feel larger than life, like a story that has history, depth, and room for interpretation. And that might be why Disney has never answered it. But the real question is, will they ever? With Mufasa, The Lion King set to expand the lore of the Pride Lands, could we finally get an answer to this long-standing mystery? Or is it one of those secrets that should remain part of the legend? For nearly 3 decades, The Lion King has stood as one of Disney's most iconic films, and yet, one of its greatest mysteries remains unsolved. Who is Nala's father? While fans have speculated for years, Disney has carefully avoided answering this question in sequels, books, and spin-offs. But with Mufasa, The Lion King set to expand the lore of the Pride Lands, could this finally be the moment when Disney gives us an answer? At this point, The Lion King is a complete narrative. It functions perfectly without ever explaining Nala's origins, and in many ways, this mystery enhances the film rather than detracting from it. If Disney were to officially confirm her father's identity, it would need to add meaningful depth to the story, rather than simply serving as a piece of trivia. Would a backstory for Nala's father truly improve her character? Or would it risk overcomplicating a film that thrives on simplicity? Disney's upcoming prequel, Mufasa, The Lion King, will explore Mufasa's past and the origins of his rule. While this film could potentially shed light on the Pride Lands structure, it's unclear whether it will address long-standing questions like Nala's father. If the movie does introduce Nala's father, it could reshape how we understand the Pride Lands and its traditions. But if it doesn't, then it confirms that this mystery was never meant to be solved, because the story doesn't need it. At the end of the day, the Lion King has endured for decades without needing an explanation for Nala's father. The ambiguity fuels fan discussions, keeps the story intriguing, and adds to the mythological nature of the film. So now, the question is no longer who Nala's father is, but rather, do you think Disney should finally reveal the truth? Or is this one of those mysteries that should remain part of the Lion King's legend?